a completely hands-free experience from RealWear. Free your hands.
Fermentation process, and so there's a number of steps in fermentation, there's a number of variables that you have to control to get the right quality and the right type of beer. So maybe you can explain what those are.
So for our QA for the brewery, we're constantly monitoring our temperature, our gravities, which is the total amount of sugar that's in the product, as well as our pressures. We're really trying to write all that down, literally almost an hourly basis. We're checking that stuff. If we don't, again, cash flow is impacted because the fermentations could take longer. QA is critical at that point because if you have a stuck fermentation, your beer may never work. You may have to dump it. So we're trying to record as much as we can. You can kind of see, we look at our temperatures, we were looking at gravity, pressures, and then we actually write this stuff down. This is where it becomes a challenge. We have a sheet, we write it on that sheet, it gets wet, you can't read it, then it goes into a binder. Well, in that binder, it's not perfect. It gets mixed up, it's hard to find. Then, so that I can see it as the CEO and see how we're tracking and actually measure my employees, we put it in spreadsheets. Well, now I have to go find that spreadsheet, and I have to go track that data down. There's got to be a better way.
And there is a better way, and so we're going to show, InterWear is going to show us a better way to capture this data using the HMT1 and on a more timely basis so we know it was done at the right time and the data was recorded in the right way. We're going to get rid of the pen and paper. And then we're going to see PTC, a little later on, we're going to see PTC and OSIsoft and National Instruments who have come together here to do a combined demo, which will actually show us seeing some live readings, temperature readings, using the Internet of Things into the system that we can then visualize on the HMT1. I won't describe the whole thing, but we're going to see a better way from those three companies on how to do that process.
So let's take a look at how these technologies come to deliver the demonstration scenario here for the brewery. We've got a fermenter instrumented with temperature data that's brought into our partner National Instruments Compact Rio platform, which then brings the data up into our OSIsoft Pi system, where we've also brought in the InterWear data from the previous demonstration for specific gravity, and we pass it onto the ThingWorx platform to create the augmented reality experience. So Luke, can you take us to the demo, please?
Hello, guys.
Hey, Luke. Hey, Luke.
So what you're seeing there, that's a ThingMark. So when he registers on the ThingMark, it's going to pull up a menu. In this case, there's a couple different options, but that could be hundreds or thousands. And that's going to pull down the sensor information that's stored in the instance. So what he's seeing here, so that went out, registered to the instance, pulled down the live streaming data. Okay, so what we did here is we are pulling pressure data from the sensors, we're pulling specific gravity, and we're pulling temperature. So this is the UI that I'm talking about that's customizable. So within Studio, we allow to extend through JavaScript or CSS editing, so you can make this look however you want it to look, okay? In this particular case, we just picked standard dials that come standard in our Studio product. But now let's say we want to pull up a trend of the specific gravity over time.
Gravity graph?
Lighting's a little light here, but you can see here now this is a trend of the actual specific gravity over time, so it's live data feed. So you can imagine in an industrial facility, if you have condition monitoring on a piece of equipment, you could pull up a trend. If you see a high vibration alarm on a machine, you could pull up a trend to see if something abnormal is happening, and then you could even dive down further to pull up specific spectrum plots of a specific measurement point on that pump. So in this particular case, we have several different temperatures. So you could maybe pull up a graph of the temperature graph if you haven't already. That's pressure. So it just gives you more insight on what's happening with your machine. So that's the power of pulling in IoT and augmented reality.